All right, who's on? I see I have one viewer. I'm going to wait until I have a few viewers on before I start to go through the information. Okay, we have one viewer. If you want, just drop me a hello. The chat box is up, so I will be able to see your comments. I swear, me and technology, it's crazy. I have one thumbs up. We're just waiting for people to come in before I get started and start talking about the topic today. So I have one thumbs up and one person in. Just waiting for some more people. I can't see who's joining unless you put it in the comments. So just, if you would, just say a quick hi, a quick hello. Yay! Hi, Tina. I know it's finally working. Yay! I'm so excited. Girl, I have so much to talk about, and I went down some rabbit holes with this one, let me tell you. And I could have kept going. There's so many more symbols and such that I could have wrote about and talked about this evening, but it's a lot of information for the few that I have. So right now I'm showing one person on. So hopefully everybody will come over that's going to be in on the chat. I'm going to send a message to a couple people. Let's see. Oh, you had to go out and get back in. So did I. It was weird. My image was up, but I couldn't see the chat. And then when I could see the chat, I couldn't see my image. I just had the spinning thing going on. So seems to be working now. All right. So I sent out a message to a couple of my friends. I don't see Christina. I wonder if she was able to get out and come back in. I'll message her real quick. All right. Two people on. Yay. Let's see if we can get some more. It's a lot of stuff to repeat. Hippie Yaya. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming on. I had some hiccups, of course, with electronics, but everything's worked out right now. So we're just waiting for some more people to come in. I think everybody's figured out that I run a little behind when it comes to setting up these lives. All right, just reminding some people. Oh, this is so funny. So I have like 3 people on, but my count on here is only showing 2. How weird is that? Hi, Jerry Renee. I'm excited about this discussion too. It's a lot of stuff to cover, and I know my lives tend to go long, but don't worry, I'm not going to read this word for word, but this is just all the information that I compiled. And what really spurred this whole conversation and me wanting to talk about these symbols is because I had a lady come into the shop, and I'm not going to mention any names, but she was very concerned because I think it was her daughter, had bought an altar cloth. And on the altar cloth, it had the goddess symbol, but in the center, it had, I'm sorry, not the goddess, but it's the goddess symbol. It's the 2 like half moons or quarter moons. And then in the center, there was a pentagram or a pentacle. And the father was having difficulty with it. And he didn't want her to use it because he thought that it was satanic. And Christina and I had a conversation with the mom and let her know the truth or reality about that symbol. And it was really eye-opening to her. And I told her, she could pull this information up online. She could print it. She could email it, show it to her husband, whatever, and not just take our word for it. And it just really got me thinking, there's so much confusion about different symbols and different things, and especially when it comes to religion and the occult. I mean, even the word occult simply means hidden. It doesn't mean satanic. It doesn't mean devil worship. It doesn't mean any of that crap. It means hidden, plain and simple. So there are a lot of occult practices in many facets of society all over the place. Freemasons, it's a cult. They don't share their practices. It's private and it's secret. So therefore it's hidden. Therefore it is a cult. All right. So I think we have like 3 people on. I'm not sure. Do y'all want me to try to do some readings tonight? I'll give you a chance to answer that, and then I'll jump up and go dig out my cards because I don't have them right here with me. And I thought, well, if y'all want me to do some readings, I will. Oh, I think some people are still very confused about whether I'm on Facebook or if I'm on YouTube. I chose to go on YouTube because what we're going to be discussing tonight, I'm fearful that YouTube won't like some of it and will shut our Facebook page down, and I can't have that happen when it's Mystic by You. So let me just send my friend this link so that she can join in. And hopefully everybody will read the messages in Facebook. But then again, who knows if Facebook is even showing my stuff to some people? I don't even know. All right, so hopefully she'll be coming in. Yeah, she would love readings. All right, I'm going to jump up from my chair and I'm going to go grab my cards real quick. So give me a minute while we wait for people to come in. I'm seeing 4 right now. All right. So we're up to 4 people. I went and got 3 different decks of cards. We'll have those staged and ready. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? I'm glad you could make it. Thank you. Did you not get notification that I switched it over to YouTube? Because I'm trying to figure out if people are understanding that or if they're still thinking I'm going to be on Facebook. I put it in comments. The reason I chose to do it on YouTube is because I was afraid that Facebook was going to not like what I had to say and shut us down, put us in Facebook jail. So I was just playing it safe. Plus, you know what? I can see your comments and I'm not lagging using 2 different systems to go live. So I don't know. I'm digging this. Oh, yeah. So if you haven't been on Facebook today, you're probably still thinking it's going to be on Facebook. So hopefully people will go on and be like, where is Michelle? What the heck? And they'll be able to click on the link and join in. So right now we're at 5 people. I'm going to get ready to start here in just a minute. I don't see Christina. She was on, and then I had to back out and then come back in so I could get the camera to work. So hopefully she'll be joining. All right. Oh, geez. So let's see. All right. I think Christina's on, but for some reason she's not seeing the chat or able to chat. Genevieve or Jerry, Renee, I am reading your comments. We have a mentorship program. If you go to our website, you'll see it. It's called Mastering the Intuitive View. It used to be a class, but now I've decided I just want to work one-on-one, maybe have 2 or 3 people and just be dedicated to helping those 2 or 3 people under a mentorship. And you can pick my brain and we'll have Zoom calls live. We'll have in-person meetings and whatnot, and just really dive head on. But it's not just about tarot skills. We're going to be learning intuition and mediumship and all that stuff. Different ways to help decalcify the pineal, how to raise our intuition, how to raise our vibration. So all of that, and not just tarot cards. But I will give you a clue on tarot cards. If you have a deck, the first thing that I tell people, the first thing that I have to tell people is when you get the deck, they usually come with a book, and the book is going to tell you what the cards mean. And you're going to do yourself a favor by not even opening up that book, because what trips people up is they may look at a card and their intuition is saying one thing, but then when they go and they look at the book, the description in the book doesn't match what they were thinking the card meant. So then people are like, well, I don't know how to do this. I just give it up. So I always suggest working with a handful of cards at a time, maybe 5 to 7 cards. Have yourself a nice journal and look at the card, write down what the card is. And then I want you to write, like 5 or 7 things that kicks up in your mind. What's your intuition telling you about that particular card? And do that. Like I said, 5 or 7 cards. Don't try to rush through the deck. And like I said, don't go to the book, because when you're using tarot cards, you're really using your intuition. So if you start to follow your intuition and you write down what that card means to you, that's what that card is going to mean to you every time you see it. So you're not going to be wrong because you're following your own intuition. The books are a guide. Now, it's a little different with the Rider-Waite deck, the standard Rider-Waite. That's a different scenario. You can go to the book. There's a lot of learning that has to go with them. But what I have done on my original Rider-Waite deck, I've had this deck since the early 90s, if not before. And I wrote little cheater notes on it. So it sparks my intuition. So for the Ace of Wands, if it's right side up, it's inspiration and growth. And if it's upside down in reverse, it's lack of direction and lack of decision. So these are your cards. You can do whatever you want with them. I write on mine, only the Rider-Waite, but every one of my cards, every one of my Rider-Waite cards has a little cheat note on it. So I just read that little cheat note. It sparks something in my brain, in my intuition, and then it opens up that gate to let the information just flow through. All right, let me read some of these comments. Oh, yeah, definitely check it out, Jerry Renee. And you can always reach out to me via email through Mystic Bayou's website as well, or through Facebook, either or, if you want more information. Tina, good to know. Just got my Angel Wisdom deck. Yes. So don't push yourself too hard. Do yourself a favor. Don't look at the book. Follow your intuition. Make sure you journal the cards. It's really vital. And, a lot of people won't do it because they don't want to put the time and effort or the work in. So just do it. You're going to be so much better, and you're going to be so much happier by doing so. All right. Well, I can't see for sure how many people I have on because my count says 2. But I know I have more than that in the chat. So I don't know. I'm going to get rolling. I'm going to get started. Penny, yes, I would like a reading. Hi, Penny. Thank you for coming on. All right, y'all. So like I said, we have a lot of information to go through. I'm going to condense it. I'm not going to read all this stuff to y'all, but let's see. What do I want to start with? I was telling everybody in the beginning that we had a lady come into the shop and her daughter bought a altar cloth that had a pentacle on it. And her dad was upset and thought it was demonic. So the mom was distraught. She came in and she wanted to know if she could exchange it if she had to, blah, blah, blah. But then once Christina and I spoke to her. Oh, hi, Denise. I'm glad you're listening. I miss you. Are y'all coming out Friday? Penny, no, I don't see you. Hopefully y'all see me, but I don't see any of you. So anyhow, so she was really upset that she might have to trade in the little altar cloth. And once we told her about the symbol and what it meant, it changed her perspective, and she was going to go back home and talk to her husband about it. So anyhow, this prompted me to think, You know what? This might be a good discussion. So let me see. I think I'm going to start with the pentacle or the pentagram. So does everybody know what that is? It's the circle with the 5-pointed star in the middle. And everybody thinks it's demonic. Everybody thinks it's Satan. Everybody thinks it's the devil, blah, blah, blah. So, nah, not at all. That's what Hollywood made it. And that's what society has made it right now. But did you know that the pentagram was used in early Christianity? It represented Christ's 5 wounds. Makes sense, right? So the Christians themselves believed that the symbol was one of protection and they wore it as jewelry. The pentagram was believed to symbolize Christ. And during the 14th and 15th century, there was a rise of occult practices, the study of astrology, magic, alchemy, etc., that all started to use the pentagram symbol. So the Christian church at the time accused those practices as being heresies. So naturally, anything associated with any of those, the occult, the hidden, became a name or a symbol of evil or something bad. It's just simply not true. It's just something that's been distorted over time, and it's kind of like when you're what's that thing where you say something to somebody next to you and they say it to somebody and they say it to somebody and things just get convoluted and switched up. So the pentagram, the pentacle, is actually an early Christian symbol that represented Christ, the 5 wounds of Christ, and it was a protection symbol. So now Hollywood in the 20th century has used the symbol to make it evil, made it into devil worshiping, which now makes people believe it, and they associate that as something evil. So, that's kind of the mindset. When in fact, the pentagram has no historical ties to evil or the devil or any kind of satanic worshiping. Even the Church of Satan, who used an upside down pentagram with a goat's head, it's not the same thing as the pentacle or the pentagram that we're talking about. And even at that, that symbol was kind of taken over by atheists as well. So it just runs the gamut. Also, the pentagram represents the 5 elements. So those elements, it says 5 elements. So, but 4 of matter are earth, air, fire, and water, and the other is spirit. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I don't know if I show you this, if it's going to show up backwards on the screen, but you can kind of see where the head of the star would be. It's spirit, which would represent spirit within us, our soul voice. So are pentagrams evil? No, they're actually a protection. Do people think it's evil? Yeah, they do. But they need to understand that it's an early symbol in Christianity. It also represents the human body, the star, the top of the star being the head. Of course, the points to left and right are the hands, and then the points to the bottom represent our legs, meaning head, arms, and legs in this physical world. Okay. They call the human shape the star. Isn't that amazing? All right. What else can I tell you about it? Let's see. I think that's it on the pentacle. We have some stuff on Christmas trees, y'all. We have some stuff on holy water. Let's talk about holy water. So holy water, now permanently retained at the entrance of churches, especially Catholic churches, is blessed on the first of each lunar month and sprinkled over patrons as they enter. And not necessarily do they stand there and sprinkle you with it. It actually, is in a what they call a font, so a holy water font, and then people will dip their finger in it, and then they will make the sign of the cross, and it blesses them and protects them. So they do sprinkle the holy water on you during Mass. I know that. But they don't sprinkle it on you when you come in. So anyhow, this practice was created to supplement the pagan celebration of the new moon. So the Catholic Church took holy water that was used in a ritual in paganism that honored, not not worshipped, but honored the new moon and the new moon cycle, and use it now in the Catholic Church as blessings of protection. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. Let's see here. So, and actually, in the New Testament, it was pretty silent about the practice of using holy water. It can be concluded that the tradition of holy water was created for the sole purpose of putting pagan ceremonies out of commission, using a scant few biblical references to water being referenced to purification. So interesting that holy water came from a pagan celebration of the new moon. Incense is another one. Let me find my information on that one. Incense were used in pagan celebrations, and then the Catholic Church, and I think Lutheran, and I'm not sure like if Pentecostal or any like Baptist church. I don't know that religion, so I don't know if they use incense in those religions. But I do know in Catholicism, in the Catholic Church, they do. They use incense. They usually use frankincense and myrrh. But again, it was a practice that was taken from paganism, pagan celebration. And it was thought that when you smelled these beautiful aromas, these incense, that it allowed you to be more present and to really focus and concentrate on things that you were wanting to meditate on or pray on. Monks use incense a lot as well. So I'm going to talk about the cross also, but I don't know if I find the right one. I have a lot of paperwork here. You know what? We're going to go to the swastika. Nobody likes to talk about that one, but we're going to. Did y'all know that the swastika actually is not evil or demonic? It's been turned evil and demonic because it's associated with Nazi Germany and the cruel, brutal treatment of human beings. So let's see here. The swastika is an ancient symbol that has been used for over 3,000 years, and that's predating even ancient Egyptian symbols like the Ankh. Artifacts such as pottery and coins from ancient Troy show that the swastika was a commonly used symbol as far back as 1000 BCE. During the following 1,000 years, the image of the swastika was used by many cultures around the world, including China, Japan, India, and South Europe. And by the Middle Ages, the swastika was well known, if not commonly used. It was referred to by several names, and I'm not going to go into all the names, but So the original meaning, the word swastika comes from the Sanskrit word meaning good. That weird? Actually means good. And then the Nazis adopted it. And the swastika was used by many cultures throughout the past 3,000 years to represent life, sun, as in the sun in the sky, power, strength, and good luck. Even in the 20th century, the swastika was still a symbol of positive connotations. For instance, the swastika was commonly decorated, was a common decoration that often adorned cigarette cases, postcards, coins, and buildings. During World War One, the swastika could even be found on the shoulder patches of U.S. Army 45th Infantry Division and as a part of the Finnish Air Force symbol until after World War II. The change in meaning. In the 1800s, countries around Germany were growing much larger. They were forming empires, yet Germany was not not a unified nation until 1871. So, to counter the feelings of vulnerability and the stigma of youth, German nationalists in the mid 19th century began to use the swastika because it was so ancient. By the end of the 19th century, the swastika appeared in German nationalist folk information, and it became the official emblem of the German Gymnasts League. At the beginning of the 20th century, the swastika was a common symbol of German nationalism and could be found in multiple places. Then Hitler comes in and the Nazis. In 1920, Hitler decided that the Nazi Party needed its own signa and flag. So the new flag had to be a symbol of your own struggle as well as highly effective as a poster. And he wrote this in one of his memoirs, one of his ranting memoirs. But he really used his head because he used color in this whole, I don't want to say marketing, but this whole strategic plan. And he was smart enough to use color. So he used red, which is authority, and he used white, which is another symbol for power. Okay. Red is also fear. So fear, power. So from that point forward, the swastika, this beautiful symbol of luck and protection and prosperity and the sun and all these beautiful things, tanked. And now it's forever going to be associated with destruction and death because of what happened with it. But it didn't start out that way. So that's the swastika. The peace symbol. Let's see, I'm looking at these comments real quick. It only takes just a couple people, just to spread stuff like wildfire. But things change over time, Things that are good, people find a way to turn them bad. And things that are bad, they find a way to make them good. We're living in this like upside down, crazy world right now. So the peace sign isn't, woo, let's bring peace. It didn't start out that way anyways. It's actually the symbol for nuclear disarmament. I guess that's peaceful, right? We don't want to have any nuclear wars, so let's bring peace and disarm them. I don't know. So I thought that was very cool. This sign right here, victory or peace, it's really a bad sign. Like if you were to do this, I think it's over in Europe, And if you did it this way, you're actually telling somebody to F off. But we flip this like peace all the time. Or we do like bunny ears, we're actually, that's actually a bad symbol. We're like not being very nice. Another translation is up yours. I'm forever going to start using this symbol a lot when I'm driving and having road rage. I'd be like, peace. Up yours. All right. Mermaids, y'all. How many of you like mermaids? So right now, nowadays, mermaids are seen as playful and sweet. Well, they used to mean death and destruction. So in mythology, mermaids are brutal, and they used to lure sailors to their deaths, according to scholars. They would sing a sweet song that would fill the body and soul with fatal, what is the word? Like you would just become so lethargic, it almost like just took over you. And sailors would jump in the water and they would die because they would drown because they were trying to find these mermaids. Definitely hormone driven, huh? So the sailors would become so obsessed that they would crash into the rocks and die. They would dive in the water to go be with the mermaids. So here's another one, and I was really surprised about this one because I was one of those ones that was definitely hell bent on the fact that this symbol right here I did not like. I was like, oh no, that represents the devil, blah 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 blah, and I don't know. If you're a rocker, every rocker knows about the devil horn sign. So it's actually a protection sign. The devil horn hand gesture was first associated with metal music, heavy metal music, by Ronnie James Dio of Black Sabbath. He flashed the sign at the audience because it was a blessing that his grandmother used to bestow on him, and it actually is meant to protect you and ward off the evil eye. So jealousy that people are placing on you, they might be looking at you and thinking, oh, whatever, bad thoughts. So this is a protection of the evil eye. And it actually flips off the devil, according to the research I found. It's not to tell him that you think he's cool. It's to tell him, take a hike, buddy. Yeah, Tina, I'm telling you, I know mermaids are real. And well, I know that you know me, so um I have this whole like I love aliens and I love going down those rabbit holes. And there's the Octurians that I believe it's the Octurians are a race of alien species that are living under our water. Um, so I'm convinced those are the mermaids. All right, I have to get a little drink of my tea here. Oh, here's another one that I thought was quite interesting. Mistletoe. Okay, we always pull out mistletoe at Christmas, and it represents, ooh, let's kiss and hug and love and blah blah blah. But and supposedly makes people feel romantic. Mistletoe should make you nervous. Mistletoe is actually the product of two traditions. In the first, the Viking god Baldur was killed by a mistletoe arrow, so it must always remain suspended in air in honor of Baldur. And then in the second, the Celtic Druids thought berries looked like sperm, so they gleefully harvest the mistletoe as the testicles of their sacred oaks. So mistletoe represents death and castration. Like, I'm never going to look at mistletoe again and be like, damn, those berries. There's sperm? What? I had so much fun reading on that one. Oh yeah, Jerry Renee, Dio, and Ozzy were in the same band. Yeah, Black Sabbath. Man, Ozzy, he was a mess. He still is. Um, all right. So back again to the pentagram. You might think it's evil, but it's a symbol of protection. And although it has a long association with Satanism and the occult, I hate how they put those words together. Again, occult is simply means hidden. So anything hidden, I guess. It was actually worn to ward off against evil. Even an inverted pentagram, which has a much more negative connotation, represents an individual's desire to face and conquer darkness. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting, I think. All right, we already talked about the swastika, but here's another one. The upside down cross. How many times have we seen that depicted in like horror movies and as a symbol of evil? So you might think that the inverted cross is satanic, but it's actually the symbol of St. Peter, the first pope. Crazy, right? Hollywood has twisted this. And I just watched a movie not too long ago. I think it was The Conjuring. I can't remember. And the little boy was, I think it was a little boy in his room, and it showed him trying to get out and he couldn't get out. And like all these crosses were on the wall and every one of them was flipped upside down. I'd be like, sweet Jesus, because these represent St. Peter, the first pope. But so anyhow, when St. Peter was martyred by crucifixion, he was said to have requested to be crucified upside down because he didn't feel worthy of dying the same way as Jesus. As a result, many Catholics actually consider the inverted cross to be more acceptable and display a more acceptable display of faith than a regular one. So it's just showing our unworthiness. We're not on the same level as Jesus. So I found that really, really super fascinating. An upside down cross is not evil, it's the sign of the first pope. And I was going to do some research to see if our popes still wear that on them, but I got sidetracked and couldn't find it. And actually, the cross, now that we're talking about the inverted upside down cross, the cross is a Christian symbol, let's see, but it has roots in ancient paganism. The use of the Christian cross as a Christian symbol began after the time of Constantine, which occurred 3 centuries after the coming of Christ. The crucifixion, the crucifixion and death of Jesus on the cross added a new significance to the use of the cross in Christianity. So they're saying it was actually used in ancient Egypt, and that was well before Christ. And then again, in the time of Constantine, and then Jesus came along. Jesus was crucified, of course, put to death on the cross. So therefore, the Christians adopted it as a symbol of Christianity. And you'll see crosses that actually have the depiction of Christ on it. That's the crucifix. So today, the use of the cross as a Christian symbol is practiced universally. Churches, both Catholic and Protestant, have crosses placed or carved or drawn on the doors, windows, tops, walls, all over the buildings. Many Christians all over the world wear crosses as necklaces, bracelets, rings, or on items of clothing, even keychains. Besides, many Christians, especially Catholics, make the sign of the cross during worship. I just did it, a little bit ago. When making the sign, the people touch their forehead, their chest, and each shoulder. Many believe that the sign of the cross is effective in protecting them from harm and drives away evil spirits. But again, it was around long before Christianity. lots of papers I'm shuffling through, y'all. Thanks for having patience with me. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Tina, yeah. It's true though. Do some research. Yeah. I think over in I think it's Japan. Like they literally have signs posted by the water telling people not to get too close because whatever their alien species is that lives in their water, um, on their head, they have a bowl and there's water in it. So they're able to come up out of the water and this would be like their breathing mechanism, I guess, to keep them breathing water. But yeah, they actually post that you could get snatched and be taken by these beings. It's so funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. All right. So we're going to talk about the tree of life, but not just yet. Lots of information on that. I wish my pages were numbered so I could be a little bit more organized. Okay, does everybody know what the tree of life is? It looks like this. As above, so below, on heaven as it is on earth. It's just one saying that is associated with it. But in different cultures, it has different meanings, of course. So let's see here. The deeper you delve into the history of the world, of its people and its cultures, its traditions and its religions, the more you realize that we are just one extended family. Amen. Isn't that true? That's why we should all be treating each other with kindness, empathy, and compassion. But I don't know where that is in today's society. Nothing separates us apart from the lack of knowledge. All right. All right. We don't need that one. So in Celtic mythology, when it comes to the tree of life, Celtic mythology explains on this idea by illustrating the branches as reaching up to the sky to the realm of the gods, while the roots settle deep into the soil, anchoring the tree to the earthly realm. Together, the tree became the channel and conduit between the will of the divine world and the mortals who lived below it. It also means communication. I actually, one time when we first had our very first Mystic Bayou, when we first opened in Slidell, we were this tiny little space. We had like two tiny little rooms, and we've always had the symbol of the tree of life. It was like the very first thing we hung up in there, and for us, it really represented being rooted and grounded, and spreading out our branches, and following divine inspiration, and helping people with all that. So that, amongst many other spiritual meanings for us, but all good. Um, I had a lady come in one time, and she looked around, and then she looked at the tree of life on the wall, and she looked at me dead in the eyes, and she said, what does that tree mean to you? And she wasn't very nice about it. And so I explained it to her. And she said, not in my family. She said, it reminds us of the hanging tree. Oh my God, my heart sunk. I felt so sick. I mean, I didn't even know how to respond to this lady. And I'm sure I probably sounded like Petunia Pig or Porky Pig trying to talk. I felt like I had been punched in the chest because that symbol is not representative of what she was saying in the context of why we had it. So it was extremely disturbing to me. And I really had to sit and pray and I had to sit and meditate about that and whether or not I was going to take this down because this one person had that reaction to the tree. And I don't know if she was trying to stir stuff up or I don't know what that scenario was, but I will never forget that story and how hurtful and disturbing it was to hear that somebody could see such a beautiful symbol and it be so ugly. But it can happen. The tree of life also is represented as far as like with Adam and Eve and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life in ancient Egypt, the ancient Egyptian empire were one of the world's organizations civilized were they actually if you go back and look at a lot of the ancient Egyptian artwork, you'll see the tree of life depicted in some of their artwork as well. They're what are they called? Hieroglyphs. And same thing in Hinduism and Buddhism. So again, as above, so below. It's all about growth spiritually, reaching ascension, etc. Staying strong and grounded in your root and trunk. All right. Let's see. Yeah, very much all, the branches being the heavenly realm or the realm of the gods and the roots being for us on this earthly plane. Did y'all watch the movie Avatar? Like, I want to go back and watch that movie again. It was so cool. I can't believe that was like 2009. But in the film Avatar in 2009, it depicts a giant planet where every single plant and tree is interconnected by a vast underground network of roots. So they kind of relied heavily on, like the tree of life. So the local population are able to connect physically to the trees and through this act, bond, heal, and eventually even affect life and death. Again, a great reminder of how we should be like the trees because they interconnect and they intertwine with their roots and they help one another. They actually share water. I saw this in a documentary. It's pretty amazing. So even trees get along better with each other than some humans do. Check out these Karbala. I don't know. Let me see if that's what they are. Yeah, it's not coming up as that. So I'm assuming you're talking about the Japanese water creatures. The kappa. They're called kappas. Kappa. See if I can find a picture of them. They'd pretty much be like mermaids. Well, this one looks more like a kind of dragon. But a lot of times they're depicted as turtle looking. And you can see the little spot on their head where they supposedly hold water so that they can breathe when they're on the land. Oh, Jewish Kabbalah. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So another one I'm going to talk about, and I think it's going to be the last one, is the Christmas tree. So the Christmas tree is another pagan symbolism or symbol that Christianity has taken over. So a Christmas tree was adorned with ornaments and lights, is the centerpiece of a festive season. But have you ever wondered where this tradition comes from? Evergreens and plants have been used to celebrate winter festivals for thousands of years, long before the advent of Christianity. Sorry, I was sidetracked. I was reading a comment. So pagans in Europe used branches of evergreens and fir trees to decorate their homes and brighten their spirits during the winter solstice. Early Romans used evergreens to decorate their temples at the festival of Saturnalia, while ancient Egyptians used green palm bushes as a part of their worship to the god Ra. The idea of bringing the evergreens into the house represents fertility and new life, and it also represents new life being in the darkness of winter, which was much more of the pagan theme. So it's also where the idea of holly and ivy and mistletoe came from, because they are a few flowering plants at winter. So you could, they held special significance. So you're thinking about, hey, in the wintertime, nothing is alive. Everything's dormant. The trees lose their leaves, but here's these beautiful green bushes and shrubs. Let's celebrate them. Let's decorate them. And then there are several theories about how the legend came to be, on how the evergreen fir became a symbol of Christianity. And one of the stories was about an English Benedictine monk, Boniface, famous for his missionary work in Germany during the 18th century. Well, it was said that he had encountered some native Germans performing a sacrifice, not human sacrifice. They were sacrificing, I think it was a sheep, in front of a mighty oak, and oak trees being sacred to the god Thor. This monk seized an axe and he chopped away at the tree, and it fell, stopping all pagan worship of false idols. And the pagans were waiting for him. They were actually waiting for the monk to be struck by lightning, because he just chopped down the tree that Thor loved. Kind of a interesting story. But the back note of that is, it was a pagan religion, and now Christianity has taken it and turned it into a holiday where a lot of money is spent. The shape of the tree, the evergreen, the Christmas tree, is the shape of a triangle. So it is said to represent the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So, yeah, y'all, it's just some interesting stuff. Like I said, I could just keep going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole. But I just found it very interesting. And the only reason why I was having this conversation today was because, like I said, the lady that came into our store, and she was worried because her husband was extremely upset that the daughter had brought in the pentacle, and he was Baptist. I don't know if I don't know the Baptist perspective on any of it, but it has been used in Christianity long before it was used for the so-called evil. It's not evil at all. It's a protection. Tina, can we have a live going down the rabbit hole of information? What information? I could pretty much talk about anything on YouTube as long as I don't say keywords. So I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Are you talking about information about today's current situation and the cabal and the dark state and all that stuff? I probably shouldn't have said the K word. They might tag me on that one. Um, I know I can't talk about the jab thing because they'll shut my YouTube channel down, but I am pro-choice with that. I think everybody has a choice. Are y'all seeing the stuff that's going on in Australia? Yeah. Yeah, Penny, Big Brother is always watching. Our smart TVs, when you shut them off, they're not off. AI is listening. If you have Alexa, isn't that fantastic? You could just, say, "Hey, Alexa," and she'll do whatever. Yeah, she listens to you. Um, what else? Oh, yeah. So going back to, are y'all seeing what's going on in Australia? It's coming. Like, I stake my life on it. Unless we wake up and become um, people who step away from evil, this world is, I don't know. I don't know. My theory is there's a dark agenda. I feel personally, and again, this is my opinion, that we are definitely in a time of the battle between good and evil. Um, People just need to wake up and realize what's happening. And instead of waking up and realizing we're going to be living in communist USA because they're trying every day to take our rights away. Yeah, I had to stop watching mainstream false fake news media, CNN, Fox, any of those. I can't watch them because they're not reporting the truth. Um, they're not telling people that when we pulled out of Iraq that we left over $80 billion worth of war equipment, Humvees and helicopters and, oh my gosh, guns out the wazoo. And now they're in the hands of our enemy. Isn't that just amazing? It's despicable. Um, if you want real news, you should check out Newsmax. It's pretty awesome, and you're going to see the truth on there. Again, my opinion. Yeah, so if you watch Newsmax, you'll be seeing stuff on Australia. If not, YouTube, Australian news, because they are arresting people who do not have a vaccine. Straight up arresting people. They have told you in Australia that you cannot leave your home. You cannot even step outside to talk to your neighbors. They will come and arrest you. And if we're not careful, that's where we're headed. It's despicable. I was just watching the news earlier, of course, Newsmax, because I don't watch regular news, like I said. And there was a group of doctors, supposedly 75 of them, that walked out of their jobs because they were disgusted over people not being vaccinated. I'm like, what the heck? You took an oath to help people, and without sick people, you wouldn't get paid. That's like saying oh, if you're obese and you're not watching your weight and you're not eating right, if you come to the hospital, we're not going to take care of you. It's insanity that they're stepping off the job. And honestly, I don't even know if these are real doctors, because the one lady that they had speaking had like a almost looked like an Under Armour shirt on, and then embroidered in big letters that said doctor. So I don't know, just I have to use a lot of discernment when I'm watching the news. But we're definitely living in some trying times, most definitely. And people just need to respect each other's opinion. We need to, more than ever, watch out for one another and have compassion for one another. Um, I don't know. I just, I don't like the state in which things are moving. And I wasn't really going to talk about dreams today, but in the beginning of COVID, and if you know me, and if you know me well, you know that I am a person who follows my dreams. I've had prophetic dreams all my life, and I even dreamt about my sons passing away. I saw how they passed. So I believe in my dreams. And if my friend Jackie's on, she and I, who back in, gosh, what, Jackie, the 90s, we used to have hours long phone conversations about dreams. And shortly before, was it shortly before? Shortly before, no, yeah, it was shortly before COVID happened. I had a dream that my daughter and I were at the apartments that we were living in Louisiana, and my husband was at work. And a military looking group of people came, and they were rounding everybody up from this apartment complex and making us walk somewhere. And the feeling that I got was they were having us, they were taking us somewhere, and it it felt like it felt like Nazi Germany. So it felt like I was being taken to a concentration camp, me and my daughter. And they had disabled something with the cell phone. So I was trying to hide my cell phone and try to get a hold of my husband to let him know what was going on, who at the time in my dream was in New Orleans. And I remember Kendra and I like tucking into like these really pokey, sticky, nettly bushes, and just it was so painful. But we were doing what we had to do to hide. And I woke up, and I'm telling you, man, I was so scared, and I already feel like I had a past life connection with the Holocaust, and I've dreamt before that feeling of being herded and taken somewhere. So, again, with this being shortly before COVID, I didn't really think anything of it. But I'm telling you what, it's something I'm thinking about now, because we could end up down that road if we keep giving up our freedoms, and if we keep giving up our rights, and we aren't standing up for ourselves. We could be heading down that path. Time to buy a private country and start our own island, or start our own country, private island. That's awesome. That would be so cool. All right, y'all. Maybe one day I'll talk about some dreams, but I've had some pretty cool ones, some really significant religious ones. So maybe I'll talk about those next week. We'll see. Um, all right, y'all. So I'm gonna quit rambling on. And who is here because they want to have a card pulled for them, a little mini reading? I will do those now. Just say me. I can't really have you raise your hand or do an emoji on here, I don't think. Can we? I have emojis. I don't know if y'all do. I think this is a monkey. I can't tell. I don't even know if y'all can see my chat. All right, so we have Denise that says, "Pull, please." So before these start going too fast, I'm going to start writing down your names. So we have Denise. We have Jerry, Renee, and Jennifer. All right. Let's see. I'm going to use my one deck that's still pretty new. Yeah, I should use one of those bird. You know what? Hang on. I have a new deck. Be right back. So I have a couple new decks. I have the Divine Feather Messenger, and I also have Spirit of the Wheel Meditation deck. So I don't know which ones I'm going to use. Let me take a look at these. All right, so we have Hippie Yaya and Tina. All right, so Denise, I am going to use the Spirit of the Wheel meditation deck for you. Might use it for everybody. I don't know. I'm going to check it out. It's really feeling some shaman energy. What do the cards have to say for Denise? Maybe we should try to do this on Zoom one time so we can see each other, and then I can actually have you tell me when to stop with the cards. That might be fun. Oh, this is a cool card. I love eagles. They represent such valor and strength. So I don't know if you can see this. So father, son, and this card is really talking about direction. Maybe you're being pulled in a specific direction. You're looking for that illumination, that knowledge, probably even ascending because of knowledge, and it's creating active growth. So you are, and see, I know you too, Denise. So I know that you're very passionate and very strong in your opinion. And I know that you are a light worker who is trying to help illuminate the truth. And you're growing and progressing through this. Um, and you're giving not only yourself, but other people good direction. So um, keep doing what you're doing because you are illuminating things that need to come to light. Okay. Yeah, I think Zoom would be really fun. Penny, let me write you down. Okay. So we have Jerry Renee. All right, Jerry Renee. Let's see. Stepping out of my comfort zone by not using my normal deck. But I thought this would be fun. Fun way to break this new deck in. All right. So for you, I pulled Ripe Berries Moon. It's all about life lessons, victory, and courage. So if you're finding yourself in a situation and you're maybe questioning your courage to follow through with something, to make a decision, go for it because right now is the time to really be active, be an active participant in what's going on in your life. And it also seems to be a huge life lesson around this. I don't know what the situation is, but I do see the hawk, the owl, the hummingbird, and the raven. So the owl obviously representing seeing things from a stand back kind of point of view in a really objective manner. The hawk to see things from a higher perspective. Um, the hummingbird just to keep going, work hard, keep going, keep going. You will have victory in whatever this is. But I keep going back to the word courage, and I feel like something keeps you from taking that leap of faith, that step forward. But just know you're going to get through whatever this is, and hopefully this makes sense. If not, it's okay. I'm okay with being wrong. It's just my interpretation. But you have to keep moving forward, whatever this is. So hopefully that resonates with you. Have the courage to do it. That's all I have to say because I still keep going back to courage. All right. Thank you for letting me read for you. Okay. Then we have Jennifer. Oh yeah. So that card, encourage standing out, is simply great spirit, universe, God, force, energy, whatever your verbiage is telling you, just to have the courage, step out in faith, just trust in yourself. All right, Jennifer. Jennifer, with the new Lorimar necklace. I'm so excited that you bought that. Oh, okay. So I pulled the card, the Turtle Clan. I love turtles. There's a lot of symbolism and a lot of meaning in turtles. And one day, I should maybe have Joey join me on a live so he can help um, talk about the turtle and the turtle shell and how it represents the moon cycle. And is it the calendar, honey? Yeah, the calendar and like the moon cycle. It's really cool. We learned it from a Native American friend of ours, Rolling Thunder. He's amazing. All right, Jennifer. Okay, grounding, steady progress, and solidity. So, really, really finding time to ground and not just ground, with Mother Earth. We all need to do that. I really feel like this is standing your ground for you. Um, and knowing that when I see the term study progress, I get the sense of but I want it now. It's like right there within in my reach. If I just try a little harder, go a little faster, I'm there. You can't do that with whatever the scenario is. It's a slow, steady pace, and again, always goes back to the same thing. I want what I want when I want it. The one was, and oh geez, I just noticed there's a 5 on here. Um, I love fives. So fives represent positive change, big change, but positive change. So get out and do some grounding, stand your ground, live your life for you, speak your truth, stand solid in that. It's no more a time of any kind of wishy-washiness. And besides, I think you're well done with that anyhow. Not that it was ever wishy-washy-ish, but that's just a lack of better term for me. The moving forward, then stepping back, moving forward, stepping back, because of maybe even about some of the things that we talked about tonight may help you with your journey. I know, and I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people um, who are in the religious mindset don't understand the spiritual mindset and don't understand some of the tools that are used, like smudging with sage or meditating, things like that. So take your time, stay steady, stay grounded, speak your truth, learn at your pace. And like the golden ring is right there. And I have to tell you, it's not anything outside of you. It's already something you already know. So hopefully that makes sense. Oh, I love that you were grounding at the beach. I love it. Oh, good night, Jerry Renee. Thank you for joining. Um, I'm glad you went out and grounded. You really need to do that. And I like to ground at the beach personally, but if you're putting off grounding because you can't get to the beach, you have to ground. Do it in your yard. Take your shoes and socks off. Touch Mother Earth. Touch the grass. It's so vitally important. Our bodies crave that frequency. We're like cell phones. We need that recharge. And I've said it over and over again in most of my videos. We're walking around in rubber soled shoes, man made material, no longer the natural materials that kept us grounded. And we're experiencing a lot of issues because of it. We just need to reconnect. So that's your card, Jennifer. Big changes coming. Big changes. All right. And we have Hippie Yaya. Candy. Candy, I gotta tell you something funny. When I was a kid, like 10, 11, 12, and I'd be playing with my friend Gretchen. She was an awesome friend. We would play in her basement. We'd always she'd say, "Well, what do you want to play?" And I'd be like, "I want to play store." And I was always the cashier. And the name I always chose was Candy. Not Michelle. My name was Candy. But I had a store. Oh, Denise, it was awesome at the beach. Yeah, I went there earlier today. I took Gunner in the golf cart. That was an experience. So I took him to the beach because he loves the beach, and I was trying to get him associated with getting in the golf cart and going to the beach and not being afraid because he's scared of everything. And it was only Gunner and I on the beach, and it was fantastic. The water was pretty clear, and it was like glass. It was so smooth. I could have like stayed there forever, but I couldn't. It was awesome. Gunner enjoyed it. All right, Candy. Wow. Okay. So you got south, and excuse me, it depicts the wolf, and I don't know what this big cat is. Absolutely beautiful card. And you have the number 11, which is a power number, definitely a power symbol. So there's some lessons right now that you're going through that you have to go through that are causing a lot of growth within you. And I feel like you just have to trust this process. Things may seem lopsided or like I feel like I'm not balanced. Things aren't settled and different. Okay. I don't know how to word that, but things are unsettled, different, not the norm. And whatever this is that you're going through it, you need to go through it because it's a life lesson. It's a big lesson because of the number 11 that's depicted here. And you just have to trust the process. And when you come out of it, it's like this whole new world is going to be created for you. I have to tell you that you have to create it. You can't, like, if you're finding yourself just sitting back wanting and wishing, you need to become an active participant in creating the reality that you want. And that maybe that's the lesson right now. I don't know, but I feel like that's kind of something that's tripping you up right there. So once you learn to trust or feel that trust, there's going to be a shift. But something's really like offset, not right now. Oh, that's so cute. Your dad named you. Oh, thank you about the beach ceremony. We're so glad you came. It was a beautiful night. We couldn't have asked for better weather. It was just beautiful. But all right, so hopefully this makes sense to you, and you need to get through whatever this lesson is because it's going to like help with your spiritual growth, your intellectual growth, everything. And you just have to trust. Thank you for letting me read for you. All right, Tina. Tina is next. I think next time, maybe if we eventually, if we end up doing a Zoom, I might throw in some mediumship readings too, just to stir it up a little bit. Those are easier when I can see your faces. And you're always invited, if I do something like that, to bring a photo of a loved one. All right. So you have Spirit of the West, and we have the bear. Number one, the bear is fierce. It's a fighter. Um, us women, we could be the mama bears. But right now, it's telling you that you need to rest, recoup. It's a time of recuperation, gathering your thoughts together, sparking some creativity, and following your dreams. Also, I say following your dreams. It could also be literally following your dreams. If you find that you are not a dreamer, but you're dreaming now more so than you ever have, I always suggest having a journal next to your bed and writing down your dream. Even if you just jot down a couple, 1 or 2 words about your dream, if you wake up, before you lay your head back down and go to sleep, because I promise you, you will not remember the dream. And right now, so many of us are receiving dreams that we need to be paying attention to because Spirit's trying to speak to us. But recuperation, I don't know if you're in a, because as I'm saying that, I just got just exhausted. Like maybe you feel like you're spinning your tires, you're trying to run against waist high water and you're just not getting anywhere, kind of like you're stuck. Be gentle with yourself. Really sit and relax and maybe meditate, do some stuff that's going to be creative for you, because once you spark that creativity, it opens up your natural meditation process and you're able to receive information from your higher self, from God's source, energy, universe, great spirit, whatever your verbiage is. Follow your dreams, pay attention to your dreams, rest and recuperate, take care of you. And it's okay to be a mama bear, but you need to be a mama bear towards yourself. I hope that makes sense. All right. And then we have Penny. Penny is the last one, y'all. I appreciate each one of you coming in on these lives. I never really know what I'm going to be talking about or what I'm going to be doing, but hopefully I have some decent information, even if I'm not completely organized when I do these. I'm just being real. I'm just me. I'm not a professional YouTuber or professional Facebook Live person. All right, Penny. Ooh, we have strong sun, moon. There's a lot going on in this. I love the butterfly because immediately that tells me transformation happening. Also has number 22 on here, and I love twos. So it's asking you, I don't know if I know you, Penny. I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking like I'm seeing you as one person, but I'm not sure if that's you. But anyhow, the feeling that I'm getting is it's asking you to be social, accept social invitations, and it may even have to do with art, something with the arts, creativity, um, to bring you some joy. Because the overall feeling that I get is that I'll become recluse and kind of shut off from that type of stuff. And um, maybe I haven't gone out or, I don't know, did any kind of socializing, or maybe you've stepped away from that. Perhaps it's COVID, perhaps it's just something within yourself that makes you withdraw and come in. Could be that you're so empathetic, such an empath that it's too much sometimes for you to go out and be around people. But this card, universe, great spirit, is asking you to go out and be social. um, there's ways that you can do it, even with COVID going on, social distance, mask up, all that stuff, whatever makes you feel good. But this card is definitely asking you not to be that recluse if that's where you've kind of been withdrawn, and get back out into society. And by doing that, it's going to spark some creativity. I don't know if you are an artist, if you paint, but I feel like I want to do something with my hands. It could even be sewing, knitting, macrame. Is it macrame? Cross stitch, but something with your hands. And again, this is up to my interpretation. You could be a seamstress. You could do pottery. Something that you tangibly do with your hands. Um, okay, yeah, okay, Penny. Okay, awesome. Um, did the art thing come up last time? Because it seems so familiar right now. And I have to be honest, I have a really, really bad memory. So whatever I say in a reading, a mediumship reading or card reading, it's just whatever I'm feeling and it just comes out, and then it's like a blank slate afterwards. But there's something very familiar with the artwork. So gosh, the feeling that I get is like you could be like the person to organize these social events that may have something to do with artwork. I don't know. That's the feeling I get. Um, have you been a recluse lately? Have you been withdrawn? Yes, you do. Yes, you do artwork. If you'd stepped away from it, please go back to doing it. Your soul needs this. It's like a breath of fresh air with you. And I feel like by you doing whatever it is that you do creatively, it causes socializing. And that's what's being asked for right now, because something about that brings you true joy. It puts you in your happy space. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, I appreciate you. Let's see, let me read your. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, the chakras. So um gotta get back into the creativity, and get back into socializing, because you need it, and it's going to help your transformation. Because like I said, we have the butterfly depicted in here, and that is a form of like a major transformation. I don't know what that is for you. I don't know if it's your spiritual path. I tend to feel like it is, but whatever this major change or major shift is, it's going to bring you a lot of joy. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So, your business, you redo furniture and paint, and you've gotten comfortable at home. Yeah, we can all do that. We can all get comfortable at home, but definitely get back to the thing that you love because your body's requiring it right now. So, all right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I think from now on, we're going to end up doing these lives on YouTube. So, if you get a chance, check out our YouTube channel, like us, subscribe to us, and if you hit the little notification bell, it'll let you know whenever I post a new video or if I'm going to go live. And I'll always post on Facebook about the lives, but I think I'm just going to direct people over here. Or if we end up doing a Zoom, like a free like mini gallery or something, um, we might do that on Zoom too. And what will happen is I'll post it a few days out so that hopefully people can see it. They can respond, and I can send the free Zoom link, and then we can all meet and chit chat, and everybody can see each other. And it's just kind of cool. Just a cool way to stay connected, y'all. So thank you again. I appreciate you all. Hope you all have a blessed evening. Bye now.